Hey, welcome to UK Wildcrafts. So if you're learning to forage for wild edibles, then it's just as important, if not more important, to learn the poisonous species out there so you don't go hurting yourself. So here are some of the most poisonous plant species in the UK, part 1. Here, this is dog's mercury, or Mercurialis perennis. It's very common and can be found carpeting woodland floors. The leaves are oval and pointed and serrated, and they grow in opposing pairs. The easiest way to identify it is if you give the leaves a bit of a rub. You'll feel they've got a downy fur on them, and also the flower spikes don't actually have any petals on them, it's just seed pods. These are very poisonous and can be fatal if you accidentally eat them. This is Hemlock water dropwort, and this is the most deadly plant in the UK, so definitely stay away from this one. You can see where the leaves are separated into either 2s or 4s, and each leaf shape kind of takes a triangular appearance. These usually grow by waterways, either lakes or rivers, but they can grow inland as well. Just a couple of mouthfuls of this, or even just a few leaves, will choke up your respiratory system and you'll die of asphyxiation, so this is definitely not one to mix up. Generally, I don't pick any umbellifers from near water, just to make sure I'm not picking this. That includes your hogweeds, cow parsleys. Just don't mess with them near water. This is the Arum Lily, Arum maculatum. It's also known as Lords and Ladies and Cuckoo Pint. The leaves normally appear around January, and the younger ones can be mistaken for sorrel. The only difference is sorrel has more pointed lobes, like arrow points, and the arum has rounded lobes, although that's not really enough to identify it. Another way is if you pick one of the leaves and hold it up to the light. You probably can't see it on camera, but it has a border of a white vein running around a few centimetres from the edge of the leaf, and all of the veins stop at that point, whereas with sorrel the veins go all the way to the end of the leaf. There, you can see that better now. These are very common, especially in woodlands and around hedgerows. All parts of the plant are poisonous, especially the berries. The berries usually appear around May, and they grow in tall red spikes. This is a yew tree, Taxus baccata. They grow quite big and they're very common in woodlands. You could potentially mistake one for pine, but the yew needles are opposite and they grow in a flat plane. And the needles are a lot shorter than the Scots pine. So people have made mistakes of making what they thought was pine tea with these needles, and it can be fatal. So all parts of this tree are poisonous apart from the flesh of the berries or arils. And you can eat the berries, but at your own risk, because if you eat them you have to make sure you spit out the stone or seed in the middle, because that is poisonous. It has a weird texture, they're quite slimy, but I actually quite like them, but it's not really worth risking. There's much better things to eat without getting the risk of poisoning yourself.